All right. Hi there. I am Melanie. I am an adaptive yoga teacher and I'm also a registered power yoga teacher as well. I am a right arm amputee below the elbow and I became disabled in 2013. I became involved with Challenge Athletes Foundation myself through uh, amputee camp where I met Travis, and I've received 2 grants so far and I'm about to apply for my third. I'm very excited. I have personally put my grants toward the use of gym memberships. I was able to get myself an adaptive bike that had pedal brakes instead of hand brakes. And I also was able to fund a little home yoga space once COVID hit because my grant was going to go towards a gym membership. But this year, it's not quite where I want to be. So it's been really cool that I get to adapt everything and change everything up thanks to Challenge Athletes Foundation. So thank you all so much for having me today. Today, we are going to kind of build on what we did last week. The last time that we met, we did a little bit more of a full body practice, but today I want to focus a little bit more on some breathing techniques, meditation, and yoga nidra, which is kind of calming down the body and easing your way into breath where you're not concentrating so much, it just becomes natural to you. So this is a practice that you can use before bedtime, that you can use when you need to chill out, relax. I today am doing a seated practice mostly, and I will be in the chair, but if you are on the ground, that's okay. You can be on the ground, you can be in a chair. If you have two folding chairs and a yoga mat, you can place those on the yoga mat and those folding chairs won't go anywhere. You don't have to use any props whatsoever. These are just suggestions. You don't need a yoga mat, even if you just want to use a beach towel. That's totally fine. So today, like I said, we're going to be working on breathing and meditation. And I have this book here with me today called Accessible Yoga that is written by my mentor, Jivana Heyman. And it is a great book. It has a lot of pictures in it of poses seated at the wall. Here, I'll kind of turn it around so you can see. But I'm going to be sharing some things from this today because it is a really great resource. I personally am currently recovering from having an appendectomy, so I need to take things easy myself and adapt my adaptive practice to help you adapt yours. But if anybody ever has any questions about specific poses, I am really happy to share that. And I'm going to stop talking now. We can go ahead and get started. So if you are seated on the ground, if you have a chair, I want to start in a seated upright position. And if you want to start standing, that's okay, but we're going to work on our breath a little bit first. So our practice of yoga has about 8 limbs of the practice, according to one of the teachers whose name, Patanjali, I was blanking, but it's right here in my book. Patanjali has 8 limbs of yoga, and most people think that yoga is just about the poses. But what they don't realize is that breathing is just as much a practice of yoga as are the principles of being non-aggressive, non-violent, and certain things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and read this as we go through our breathing practice. So like I said, seated position, connect your sits bones if you have both connected to the ground. If not, just try to connect your body to the ground somehow. Let your eyes close. If you can't close your eyes, that's okay. You can use your gaze, your drishti, place it on a spot in front of you that isn't moving. Or you can gently let your eyes close and just be here in this moment. What are you noticing around you? Maybe it's your dad playing music in the background. So I apologize if you pick up on that at all, but I can also hear some music from the outside. There are some crickets, the breeze, the fan in the room. Notice what's around you. And there's no need to change your breath here and now. Just noticing where you are and how the day has met you. A steady, comfortable posture is important during both pranayama, breath work, and in meditation. so that you can turn your awareness from the external internal and experience subtle shifts happening. Unless you're using your hands as a part of the breathing practice, they can be resting on your knees or in your lap. Or if you prefer, you can touch your index fingers together and thumbs to create a chin mudra. And palms can be turned up or face down, whichever one works best for you. Again, noticing every parts of your body that are connected to the mat. Feel the ground support you. Focus on lengthening your spine, pulling your belly button in towards your core. Shoulders roll down your back, away from your ears. And each and every breath, let your rib cage lift up while knitting your front ribs into one another. Crown of your head lifts to the ceiling. Let each breath in lighten you. Let each exhale ground you. You can be breathing in and out through your nose, in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your mouth, out through your nose. Keep breathing and stay. If thoughts start to come up, that's okay. We try to calm the monkey chatter, we call it, in our brains, things, lists that we should do after this or where we are. Just notice those thoughts and let them go with each and every breath. Start to turn your breath up really deep in those inhales. Hold it at the top. And on your exhale, really let it go fully, almost longer than your inhale. If it helps you, inhale, count to 4. Hold for 2 at the top. Exhale for 6 or as long as you can. And it doesn't matter if on your first try you make it to 4 or you make it to 6, that's okay. It's a practice. It's not yoga perfect. And I invite you to use this time to be gentle with yourself, noticing any parts of your body that you might not be able to fully move or feel like yesterday you were able to do something, today you aren't. That's okay. Really just noticing where your body is today and accepting that. To build a foundation in pranayama, it is helpful to begin by learning to breathe more deeply and effectively. This is referred to as diaphragmatic breathing or yogic breathing. It is important to let your diaphragm fill all the way up with air. Exhale, let your belly fall first, then your diaphragm, followed by your chest. This is training your parasympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight, to be calm and easeful in those moments of stress where we don't have as much control as we would like. Starting slowly with care, remembering that the goal is to expand your energy. This is something that happens over time with subtle shifts rather than big changes, requiring gentleness in your practice. And if it helps you and if you're able to, I invite you to bring your hands to your belly, eyes remaining closed. You can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest if you'd like, or if you're like me, you can change up where your hand is on your chest or your belly. Exhale first, then inhale and feel the breath moving your abdomen forward, then the chest follows. Exhale, chest drops first, followed by your belly. Connecting your hand reminds you to connect these movements. And you can try this anytime you'd like. You can do this from a sitting position or from laying down. Laying down's a little bit harder actually, because you're using the weight of your hands as you lift. And let it fall. From here, I invite you to take your hands to your rib cage along your side body. Your eyes can open up to see where my hands are. And then let your eyes close again. And as you breathe, I want you to feel your rib cage expand laterally, sideways. Exhale. Again, your inhales are shorter than your exhales. You can do this by having your hands on your side. You can also do this by giving yourself a hug to feel this. Giving yourself a hug, just like laying on your back, is a little bit harder. Feeling your abdomen, your rib cage expand in every direction. Focus on this expanding sideways here and backward. This opening in the rib cage allows the diaphragm muscle to expand outward as it flattens. Next, bring one hand, both hands, or your attention to your shoulders, or one hand on your shoulders, one hand on the top of your head, or both hands on the top of your head. Whatever you'd like to try here, feeling your breath in these places. You may notice it a little bit less here, and that's okay. It's a very subtle shift. Hold your head gently but firmly, connecting the bones of your skull. Exhale, and then as you inhale, see if you notice slight expansion of your skull. On the exhalation, try to feel your skull or your shoulders gently contract. Take a few breaths, connecting to the expansion and connection of your skull to your whole body as you breathe. Take 2 more breaths. Then release your hands down to your sides. You can slowly and gently open your eyes. Maybe start to move your spine a little bit if you want to take it light. Circle around with your rib cage. Circle it the other way. Inviting space into those areas of your rib cage and spine that kind of need that attention with your breath. It should feel like a nice, gentle massage. Now, as we move today, we are going to focus on our breathing with an Ujjayi breath. So that's going to look like in through your nose, back out through your nose. If you can't do that, I know sometimes I can't when I have sinusitis. That's okay. Just breathe however you can. But I'll go through Ujjayi breath first. So again, your sits bones are connected, shoulders stacked over your hips. You're going to breathe in through your nose, meet your tongue to where your teeth meet your gums with your lips closed. As you inhale, keep your tongue connected there. Hold it at the top. Exhale. Hold it at the bottom. If this helps to count, you can inhale to the count of 4, hold for 2, exhale to the count of 4. So again, your eyes can be open for this, or if you'd like to close your eyes, you can. This is more of a power breath. So this is what we use in sun salutations when we do the up down. It's almost like a yoga burpee, to create that fire, to create that sweat inside of us. So try the Ujjayi breath for another 2 breaths. Relax, let it go. If you can, hug in your right leg into your core if you have that below you. If not, give yourself a hug, pulling your core into your spine. Now I'm going to cue from head to toe. This is something I do in every class. If there's a part of your body that you are missing on one side, I just want you to notice that, or if you can't move that part of your body, that's okay. Adaptive yoga is about making the practice your own. So what I'm doing with this side is I'm taking my foot, you don't have to lift it, but I'm giving my ankle some rolls out here. If you need to take one hand behind you and kind of manipulate your foot with your other hand, that's okay. I want you to take it for 2 circles one way. And then we're going to do 2 circles the other way while holding your leg in. Just kind of giving your body that release in that spot. If you'd like to extend your leg, lift it up, you can. So if you want to take your other hand to do that, you can. Or if you're able to move that, you can up and down. Maybe take some light circles one way without picking anything in front of you. And then the other way. Release down, take a moment. Ooh, feels nice. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I have my forearm behind my leg. If you just want to take your fingers, if you can, that's fine too. We're going to take those circles again with our foot one way. If you need to manipulate with your hand, that's okay. And if you don't have a foot on this side, I want you to imagine that foot being there, circle the other way. And then you're going to extend your leg up, down. Again, using your other hand if you can. And then you're going to take some light circles one way, and then the other way. Release down. Shake out your hands, release your arms. So from here, we're going to take a breath in, and we're going to reach our arms up overhead. Reaching your fingertips up, pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. Nice. Belly button into your spine. And I want your upper arms to be next to your ears. So we don't want them too far back. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm talking about. We don't want them here. We don't want them here. We want them almost like earmuffs next to us. And your fingers are open as they can be, like electricity shooting out of your fingers. Take a breath in, look up at your fingertips. Maybe now take a back bend, reach your chest up to the ceiling. Curve your spine a little bit, and then come back gently. Keep your right hand up, left arm is going to reach down. You can place your palm down next to you on the chair or on the floor, and we're going to reach our right arm up and over. Now, I can only do so much on this side because this is where my appendix scarring is, but I'm going to show you on the other side. So it would look like reaching over, again, ear next to your upper arm, and you're going to look up at the ceiling underneath your arm, almost as if you're giving yourself a sniff. Did you put on deodorant today? I don't know. I would never know. We're on Zoom, so it's okay if you didn't. You're the only one who's going to know. Keep stretching through your side body, lengthening from your sits bones that are connected to the ground. Take 2 more breaths here. Again, being really gentle with yourself, connecting to the ground to make sure you don't fall over. Take a breath in. Take your arm to your right leg, left arm over your body, and then you're going to reach your right arm underneath, and we're going to take a cross body stretch. Now from here, I want your shoulders to stay parallel over your hips, so don't let yourself twist too much. I want you to take this here, and what this does is allows your shoulder to open a little bit more. And we're going to hold here and breathe. On your inhales, lengthen your spine. Exhale, let your shoulder open up a little bit more. 2 more breaths using your J. Breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Or through your nose. In. Out, release your arms down. Give yourself a shake. And we're going to do the other side. So we're going to start reaching both arms up. Again, turn your palms in to face one another, upper arms next to your ears. Look up at your hands. We're going to go to the opposite side. So we did the right side, left hand down. So this time, right hand down, left side up. And then you're going to look up under that arm, reaching, lengthening through your side body. Breath in, connect your sits bones to the ground. Exhale, reach over a little bit more, lengthen that side body, belly button into spine on your exhale. 2 more breaths. Keep breathing. Now reach your arm down. Opposite arm reaches under. So I'm going to do this side now. And again, I'm doing here with my forearm. On the other side, I have to do it with my upper arm. So whatever feels better, play around. Again, shoulders are both going to stay over your hips parallel. And I want the opening to be in your shoulder rather than in a twist. Find your breath. I'm going to play some light music as we do this. I forgot to do this in the beginning, so please forgive me. And I'll turn it down a little bit. See if we can't hear it. Keep breathing and then release, shake it out. And it might not be working today. That's okay. All right, from here, we're going to do some neck rolls. So I want you to keep those shoulders over your hips. Take a breath in, then exhale your chin into your chest. On your inhale, right ear to right shoulder. And stay right here for a side stretch. Again, try not to let your shoulders move anywhere. Just keep them right over your hips, stretching through your side neck as you breathe. Eyes can be open or closed. If you'd like to take your arm to the top of your head, I have to bring my inner elbow, but if you can place your hand on top of your head, you can. So on the same side, you would do that. So Suzanne, you're going to switch. Yes, there you go. It's okay. So you're going to feel a gentle pull in your neck here. It should feel really nice. Don't go too roughly. Let yourself stretch. Release your hand down, chin back to chest, and now we're going to go the other way. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. You can leave your arms at your side. Stay here and breathe, feeling that stretch through your right side neck. Or you can take your left hand to the top of your head, or whatever hand is on this side. Same side, same one. Again, relax your hand, relax your face. Find your breath. Again, as thoughts come in, we notice and acknowledge them for what they have to tell us, and then we slowly let it go, just as we soften our muscles here. Release your hand down, roll your chin back to center. Now we're going to inhale our right ear to our right shoulder. Exhale, chin comes back to center. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. And we're going to follow that 3 times. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, right in and then to the left. Exhale, chin back to center. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. If you start to feel it all the way down in your back, that's good. Keep those shoulders square. I'm starting to feel it where my shoulder blades are, actually. Last set. And then when you are finished here, chin back to center. We're going to take a full circle on your inhale all the way to the right. Gently drop your head back. Left ear to left shoulder, back through the center. Continue this 3 times. I'm just going to share with you that if you do have any neck injuries, we want to avoid going back all the way, so you continue with the right to left if that feels good. But again, neck injuries, we just want to be cautious of that. So osteo problems here, you want to be aware of. And then when you're done going to the right, we're going to go to the left 3 times. Really feeling all those like little Rice Krispie pops, cracks in your neck. Let them go. It's okay if they happen unless you have those neck problems. And then when you're done with those 3, chin to chest, slowly lift your head up. Take a moment. Maybe shake out your shoulders a little bit. Should feel really loose here. Shake out your arms if you'd like to. From here, we're going to do seated cat-cows. So this is almost like those little circles we took with our chest when we started. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see. This is a great seated position, especially if you've been hunched over your desk all day and typing. This is a really nice one. So we're going to inhale, bring your chest forward, shoulders come back, let your chin lift up slightly as far back as you can. And then as you exhale, you're going to curve your back as much as you can. Chin drops chest. Follow that again with your inhale. Exhale, roll back. Now, if you can see my arms, I kind of like to follow my hand along my thighs if you can. On the opposite side, I'll turn the other way. I'm doing the same thing as my arm just floats along. So my exhale, inhale, I would pull back. And again, you can do this with anything you have. If you do have props like elastic bands, on this side, I could take one behind my arm and pull back, release them forward, giving me a little bit of resistance. And if you don't have them, that's okay. You can just imagine a band being there, giving you that resistance behind your arms. So take 2 more of these, again, being gentle with yourself wherever you are today. Ooh. And then when you are complete, make your way to stillness. Nice. From here, you're going to work into some twists. So you're going to reach your arms up overhead, and then you're going to cross your left arm over to your right knee. Right arm is going to reach back. If there's a chair behind you, you can grab that, or place your hand on the floor behind you if you can. And then your gaze is going to lift over your back shoulder. Now, don't force this twist. Wherever your body wants to twist to, as you start, stay there, and then deepen your twist. This gives you some breathing room, literally, some room to expand that lateral breathing like when we started. Focus there. You don't have to bring your hands there. Just bring your awareness to your side body. So on your inhales, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, deepen that twist. Look back over your back shoulder. Take 2 more. In, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Twist. And then come back through center. You're going to cross your right arm over your body. If you can, reach your hand to your knee. Do that. Then bring your left arm behind you. We're going to twist the other way. And again, give yourself some room. So if you only twist so much when you start, then you have some space to expand that lateral breathing. Gaze over your back shoulder. Inhale, lengthen the crown of your head up. Connect your sit bones to the ground. Exhale, twist. 2 more just like this. Last one. Bring your hands to your sides. Release the pose on your exhale. You can relax back a little bit. Just take a moment. See how you're feeling. From here, we're going to widen our stance. So I'm just going to adjust my camera a little bit. Give me 1 second. I'm using my phone today, so I have to be a little bit creative here. And I'll move back so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to stay in that seated position, and we're going to widen our legs. So if you are in a chair, your legs are going to come here. If you are on the ground and you can extend your feet out, you can do that. So if you're seated like I am, I want you to make sure that your feet are connected to the ground. I have yoga blocks. You can put these below your feet if your feet don't reach the ground, and that's okay. If you're seated, you can even bring blocks below your knees if it feels like you need that support there. So from here, you're going to reach both arms up, and you're going to bring your right arm to the inside of your right leg. I'm going to mirror, so my forearm comes to my thigh, or you can bring your hand there, whatever reaches, and then your left arm is going to be up overhead like we did. We did that side body stretch. Nice. Look up under your arm. Bring that arm up like earmuffs on the side of your ear. Find your breath. And I want you to keep both sits bones connected to the ground. So if it feels like one's coming up, really just kind of lean back into that side that's popping up. Nice. So as we're here, we can talk a little bit about our bandhas, so our locks. So right here, I want you to focus on your mula bandha. It's almost like if you had to use the restroom, but you wanted to hold it in. Focus there, and try not to hold it too tightly. Give yourself some room to breathe for 2 more breaths here. Take 1 more breath in. Come back through center. We're going to do the other side. So your left forearm to your left thigh, right arm reaches up overhead. Oof. Connecting your sits bones as you reach. And if it helps you, so you're not clenching up your hand, wiggle your fingers a little bit. Soften your elbow, soften your shoulders. Keeping yourself connected as you can be. Take 2 more breaths. From here, we're going to fold forward between our legs. So if you need props here, this is where you would use them. And I'm going to grab something real fast. If you are seated on the ground and you happen to have like a couch pillow and you don't really feel like you can connect your belly to the ground, you can take a pillow here and fold down, relaxing your chin into your chest, or go as far as you can. If you can reach all the way down to the ground, great. I actually like to take a block if I'm in a seated chair here to place my hands and then relaxing my elbows. I'm going to stay seated just because this hurts my stitches a little bit, but actually use the pillow. Oh, this should feel really nice in your low back as you let your chin drop in, finding your breath again. Eyes can be open. Again, if you're in a seated position, make sure, if you're in a chair, make sure your feet are connected to the ground so you're not falling out of that chair. And if you're on the ground, just focusing on your thighs, your legs. Even if you don't have control of them, think of your body parts. They're relaxing with each and every breath. Again, lengthening in. Let your exhale be a little bit longer than your inhale. Being gentle with your breath, relax your jaw. And then slowly make your way back up to a seated position. If you have a pillow there, we're going to remove that just for a second. And then from here, we're going to do a seated tree pose. Now, your legs can be widened or they can close wherever that works for you. We'll start with the floor position. So if you're on the floor, you're going to bring your right leg into your left, almost like a number 4. Now, if you're in a chair like I am, you can bring your foot up here onto the chair, or your foot can be almost at a kickstand. And I can pick up my phone to show you this. So my feet here, one is like this, or you can place a block down here. Whatever works best for you in that position. So find what works best for you on this right side. I'm going to bring my foot up here. And again, if you want to use that pillow, you can. Bring it in, walk your arms forward, or let yourself fall down over your leg in front of you, dropping your chin into your chest. Soften your belly, give yourself room to expand, lengthen your spine, even though it's curved, to give yourself some room, some space. And as you're physically creating space in your body, I'd like to offer to think of where in your life you can create space for something else. So maybe you've been holding on to something, a thought, a place, a person that you might need to let go of. Create some space for something new in your life. Know that you can bring space into your body at any time with this breathing practice, with your pranayama that you've worked so hard to create today. It's a beautiful new process, and it is all yours. Slowly come back up. Release whatever's in front of you. You can bring your legs out both together if you can. Shake them out a little bit. From here, if you are seated in a chair, you can bring one block in front of you or just kick your legs out. You're going to reach your arms up and you're going to fold forward with your legs together. Now, I like to sometimes bring my hands behind my knees here as I fold down, or your hands can be on the chair, on the ground, whatever, as far forward as you can fold. We're just going to take a couple breaths here, just as a little stretch in between. Nice. Come back up. We're going to take seated tree pose on the other side, so your legs are going to widen. And again, your left foot can be at a kickstand here or wherever your foot wants to be placed, but I bring it to the inside of my opposite thigh. Nice. Again, if you have a pillow here you want to bring in front of you as we fold, you can do that, or you can fold in between your legs, chin dropping to chest. allowing your inhales to be shorter than your exhales, lengthening on those exhales. Take 2 more breaths, really connecting your sits bones to the earth as you lengthen your spine. Please excuse the construction workers next door. And slowly, gently make your way back up to a seated position. Release whatever is in front of you. Again, reaching both feet forward, both legs come together as we reach our arms up and we fold forward over both legs as far as you can go. I can only go to about here today. Let your chin drop to your chest. Two more breaths here. Slowly make your way back up when you are all done. Taking a moment to shake out your legs if you'd like to, move your body around a little bit. Maybe give yourself a little twist side to side. We're going to make our way into our more relaxing poses. We'll do one more pose before we do. We'll do a seated butterfly. So you can do this in a chair with another chair in front of you or on the one chair. Your feet are going to come together and your legs are going to open up. Now, if you are a below the knee amputee, you can take blocks below your thighs here, or anybody can take blocks below your thighs if you feel you need that support. If you don't have blocks, pillows, rolled up blankets work. So feet are going to be together. Your hands can come to your feet. And if you can give yourself a little bounce here, you can do that here. And while we do that, we'll talk a little bit about our core lock, since I kind of missed that before. Belly button's going to be into spine. Giving yourself a shake. If you need to use your hands to do that, that's okay. Just kind of releasing all of those muscles we use today in our legs. And from here, you can release, and we're going to make our way into some inversions. Now, I will start with floor since my one participant is on the floor. If you're seated, just hang out for a second, and I will show you what we're going to do. Now, if you're on the floor, I'll give you a couple options. You can move close to a wall. If you have a wall behind you, you can take what's called waterfall pose. You can take a pillow or a block below your low back, and your feet are going to go up the wall with your sits bones next to the wall. So I'll show you what that looks like really quickly. And this sideways. The chair is going to be in the way a little bit. Let's see. There you go. Okay. So if you can sit yourself close to a wall, you can do this, or your feet can go up onto a chair actually. So your hips are going to come as close to the wall as they can. Feet come up. And you can place, again, a block or a pillow below your back here if you can. Or I'll show you what that looks like with the chair. With the chair, we can do feet up the chair or the couch or whatever you've got near you. You can sit as close to the chair as you can. And you're going to lay on your back. Spine is going to be nice and long. And your feet are going to go up onto the chair. You can take that block or a pillow below your low back. That is okay. If you are in a chair, you can take another chair in front of you. Your feet can be out, or you can take a pillow below that chair in front of you to give yourself a little bit of an incline. The idea with inversion is to have your hips be below your feet and give yourself that recycling of blood. So I will give you just a couple seconds to get ready. Whatever works for you. Again, if you're on the ground and you don't have a wall near you, you don't have a chair, pillows work. And if you don't have any of these things, that's fine. You can move into Shavasana, which is flat on your back, laying on the ground, spine nice and long as we move into our meditation practice. So whatever feels most comfortable for you here. So if you want to connect your spine to the ground, you can. If you want to lean on something behind you, or if you want to stay in a seated position, that's also totally fine. Just know that we'll be here for about 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to read a meditation today, again, from this book, Accessible Yoga, that's written by my mentor. Start to release your breath, release your thoughts, noticing the parts of your body that are touching the earth, letting the ground support you, and every other part of your body that's above you, let it be light. Let your inhales fill you with anything that makes you feel good. Maybe that's inhaling self-pride, self-love, self-confidence. Exhale, being grounded, being grateful, choosing something that you're happy about. Maybe that's you're grateful for breathwork practice because your life can be stressful from here to there. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Okay, hopefully that should be better. Really lengthening each inhale, each exhale as much as you can. The most universal focus for meditation is the breath itself, since it is always in the present moment. By focusing on the breath, the mind is brought back into the present, which is the only time when we can actually feel happiness and peace. When focusing on the breath, the mind can observe the physical sensations of breathing. Focus on the energetic experience of the breath, moving up and down through your spine. Focus on the feeling of the whole body expanding on the inhalation and contracting on the exhalation. In this seated comfortable position or this laying comfortable position, lengthen your spine. Relax your body. Bring your awareness to the breath coming in through your nose on the inhalation. Feel the air slightly cool, moving through your sinuses, down your throat, and expanding your lungs. On the exhalation, notice the air leaving your lungs through the air, slightly warmer now at the nostrils. Spend a few minutes observing all the sensations of breathing. Which muscles are moving? What do you feel in your body? If your mind wanders, notice that and gently bring your awareness, your attention back to your breath. Bringing in those feelings of lightness, of joy, self-love, gratitude. You can stay here, or if you would like to move into a final Shavasana pose, that laying down pose, your final rest, you can. Or you can stay where you are. These next few minutes are all for you. And giving yourself thanks for coming to practice today with me. Enjoy your final rest. Shavasana. Slowly start to bring your breath back in, deepening your inhales, lengthening your exhales, maybe out through your nose, through your mouth. Take one more in through your nose, exhale through your mouth. If you're still on your back, you can reach your arms up overhead. If you're seated, you can do the same. Take a nice good morning stretch. Lengthening your spine. Reaching your legs, your sits bones away from your shoulders and through your hands or your feet if you can. If you want to go ahead and give yourself a hug, cross your arms over your body. Same thing on the other side, release your arms, give yourself a hug. If you'd like, while you're on your back or seated, you can bring your feet in, bring your knees side to side, drop them one side to the other, rock your hips. Moving whatever props are in front of you out of the way, maybe shake your legs out. Next, we're going to bring our arms up overhead. And then you can bring your hands down to a prayer, or just like we began, one hand on your heart or one hand on your belly, eyes closed. Thanking yourself for coming to practice today, giving thanks for something in your life. Slowly start to blink your eyes open. You can stay on mute. I'm going to go ahead and seal this practice for us all with the sound of one Om. If you'd like to join me, you can. Inhale through your nose. Using all the sounds in the universe, we give ourselves thanks for what the universe has to offer for us today, connecting with that inner divinity, your higher power. Keeping your hands where they are, or bring your thumb knuckles to third eye center just between your eyebrows and up. We bow together as we say namaste in gratitude for one another. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all well. If Patrick, if you want to pop on and say something else, I thank you for joining me today. And yeah, anytime anybody has any questions about yoga, feel free to reach out to me. I am on social media. My Instagram is where you can mostly reach me. Where's Waldman? It's all one word if you're on social media. Thank you so much.